I've never been behind somebody trying to go for a single leg and accidentally just scraped him with my teeth.
Yeah. Oh, I remember back.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, okay, yeah, come on.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
Never mind.
That, okay.
Did you know that former UFC fighter Igor Severino was banned for biting Andre Lima at UFC 89? The UFC fighter was banned and fined after this controversial biting incident, which resulted in a UFC rule violation. How will this lack of UFC discipline be reflected in Severino's fighting career? Igor Severino, the former UFC flyweight, is again making headlines after he was given a 9-month suspension for biting Andre Lima at UFC Vegas 89 in March. He made an illegal UFC move by biting his opponent's arm during a firm grasp. This created a fighter controversy, and he faced a severe online backlash against his lack of UFC sportsmanship. The Nevada State Athletic Commission, NSAC, released the statement on July 25th. In addition to a $2,000 fine, he was charged $2,000 extra in fees and paid $471.12 in prosecution fees. Although the original suspension was only set to last 6 months, NSAC Chairman Anthony Marnell said that wasn't enough. It was feared that other fighters would view this suspension as just a slap on the wrist and maybe commit more offenses during fights. Since the suspension takes effect retroactively on March 23rd, he will only be able to compete on December 23rd. After the incident, Severino was dropped by the UFC, and it's unclear if any other promoters might look into Severino. How did Severino react to this? The Brazilian has expressed his apology immediately after the bite incident. "It's not who I am as a person. That's not who I am as a fighter," he told MMA Junkie after the event back in March. "My dream became a nightmare overnight. I'm very regretful to my opponent. I apologize to Lima, to Dana, and the Nevada Athletic State Commission, to Sean Shelby, who spoke to me after the fight." He expressed his sincere apology to his fans and the audience. He said sorry to everyone who was watching that on TV. They don't deserve to see that. Meanwhile, Andre Lima seems very empathetic toward his bitterness. Lima expressed his disappointment, and he feels bad that Igor was cut from the UFC for biting him. "I feel so sorry, to be honest. I'm sad for him. He came from the same journey as me. He struggled a lot. He has a family. He has a bright future."
Andre, you said after the fight that you didn't think they should cut Severino from the UFC. We know what happened, that he was. Has he apologized? Have you spoke with him at all?
Eu ia falar com ele no octógono, só que não deixaram.
I feel so sorry, to be honest, for him, and I'm sad for him, being honest, because he came from the same thing, you know what I mean? Like the same, he struggled a lot, like I did, you know, like he has a family, he has a bright future, but I was about to spoke with him in the octagon, but they didn't allow, and after that I didn't see him at all, and but I feel so much for him too, you know, because I know the same dream I had, he has too, you know, so I feel bad for him.
He was disqualified when the referee reviewed the incident. After the fight later that evening, he was kicked out from the UFC by President Dana White. Those were two up-and-coming undefeated fighters, White said in a reported text message to the website. White warned other fighters too by saying that if you get frustrated and want out of the fight, there are plenty of ways to do it. But the worst thing you can do is bite your opponent. He added, now you get cut and lose the biggest opportunity of your life. Not to mention, he's going to have a real problem with the Nevada Athletic Commission. His first round was awesome. Both Brazilians came to fight, immediately letting combinations of power shots fly. Better yet, both were mixing it up, throwing elbows, knees, and nasty low kicks. Lima was the sharper striker, and at one point, the stunned Severino battled with an intercepting elbow. At the same time, the 20-year-old Severino did land some takedowns, and there was a brief exchange of submission attempts. he continued to press into the second round, and he started finding a bit more success. Finally, one of his takedowns resulted in a bit of control time. The fight was far from over, however, and as Lima worked to escape his opponent's grasp, the bout was suddenly called off. Initially, it seemed like Lima might be losing a point for grabbing the fence. Then the camera zoomed in on Lima's bicep, which revealed a nasty set of teeth marks. Lima, who let out a yell after the incident, uploaded pictures of the bite and got a tattoo around the teeth marks on his bicep. After the controversial UFC biting incident, UFC President Dana White said on Instagram, "I was going to give him $25K. Now I'm giving him $50K. This is awesome." Lima responded to White's comment and wrote on Instagram, "It was so insane I had to make it permanent. It was a debut to remember. Thanks, boss Dana White. I'm ready for many more." While there is no doubt that Severino's conduct was totally unsportsmanlike, there have been many such incidents in MMA history. The 30-year-old Japanese fighter Daiichi Abe stunned the MMA world with an unsportsmanlike performance at the Risen 37 event. Fighting against Marcos Yoshio de Souza at Japan's Saitama Super Arena, Abe landed a perfect right hand in the second round of the 176-pound match, knocking de Souza out cold. The only problem is that Abe continued to pursue his opponent after he was already on the ground, attempting to punch him in the face before the referee could intervene. Other banned actions in MMA include headbutting, hair grabbing, biting, and headbutting. Let's recap the Mike Kyle versus Brian Olsen fight. But when something goes wrong in front of the entire globe online, the only thing to do is the right thing. Another unsportsmanlike action occurred when Gilbert Yvel knocked out a referee. Gilbert Yvel is one of the few fighters in history to have suffered multiple disqualification losses. He is also among the few fighters who have achieved all three. The opponents were split apart as they were about to fall over the top rope in a clinch during an 0-4 matchup with At Backman. The referee stopped the battle in an attempt to realign the fighters for their safety. After refusing to take the referee's hand many times, Yvel abruptly punched the official in the head and kicked him while he was on the ground. Coming back to the Severino versus Lima match, it's a really unfortunate end to a great fight. Both men were fighting at a really high level for debuting athletes and appeared to have much to offer to the flyweight division. Unfortunately, he cost himself a possible win and maybe his entire UFC career with this awful display of sportsmanship. What do you guys think of Severino's fighting career? Tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining, don't forget to hit the like button. Also subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you never miss any future content from us. Until next time.